Previously on the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, called Eastern or Extreme Championship Wrestling. So for 2 years, the Dangerous Alliance was resurrected. In 1993, Jimmy Snuka, Don Morocco, the Dark Patriot, and Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert formed the Dangerous Alliance. And Paul Heyman introduced. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day, everybody. It is Sunday, February 19th, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Philadelphia's native son, Jeremy Pierce, and we got ourselves a show for you. I won't be before you very long. As always, you can check me out on the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and the 215 on Twitter. Today's show, well, last night we had the Elimination Chamber, where there was also New Japan's Battle in the Valley, but the main story, of course, is the Elimination Chamber. We're going to go over the show, review the card, review the matches, what stood out, what didn't stand out, and where we are on our road to WrestleMania. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. So, as you all know, we've got two really big wrestling games coming out. That'll be AEW Fight Forever and, of course, WWE 2K23. And they've had their big roster reveal, and this joint is big. There are over, I believe, 100 playable characters. I'm not going to run them down, but everybody that you think is supposed to be in here is in here. Just going over the list, I'm trying to think if there's anybody that's missing. Trick Williams isn't in the game. Mello is, no Trick, but we got Braun. There's no Wendy Chu. I'm trying to think of a few more people. The Creed brothers are in here, but I don't think there's no Ivy. Make sure. Hold on. I don't think there is no Ivy Now is not in the game. So there are a few there NXT people missing, but I can expect them to all be in the game. Surprisingly, no Mandy Rose. Over on AEW Rampage, the ratings for the February 10th show, they pulled through 375,000 viewers. It's down once again. Did a .12 on the 18 to 49 demo. I'm curious to see as how this past Friday's show, the 17th, that aired at 7 o'clock, does it. It was a loaded card. So I wonder how those ratings are going to do. As you know, Wrestlemania is back in Hollywood, and we're gonna go to Hollywood. We got to do the Hollywood movie parodies. We even have the first one debut last night. So what are the parodies? Ms. Maurice for Top Gun, Rhea Ripley in Judgment Day doing Stranger Things. The Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre doing 40-Year-Old Virgin, which is kind of hilarious. Becky and Seth Rollins doing Batman and the Joker, and the Bloodline doing Goodfellas, and that one feels the most apropos. Even Seth Rollins as the Joker. And some sad news, Jerry Jarrett has passed away. The father of Jeff Jarrett and one of the men that was instrumental in wrestling in the territories. He was 80 years old. Former AEW Women's champion Hikaru Shida. She is out with a finger injury. She's cool. She's just taking some time off to get this joint healed, because she will definitely, I believe, play a part in this ongoing AEW Originals versus AEW Outsiders Women's storyline. Raw this week, the ratings did about the same as last week. They did 1.8 million viewers with the .47 and the 18 to 49 demo. The demo is down, but the viewership itself is still the same. Soraya and Tony Storm, their faction name right now, technically they are the Freelancers. I like that. I'm waiting to see who else is going to join. Dynamite this past week pulled in its lowest ratings of the year so far. They pulled in 824,000 viewers with a .27 and 18 to 49 demo. That is the lowest since November of 2022. Need them ratings to climb back up. Ronda Rousey is in talks to star in Captain America New World Order as the Marvel Comics character Thundra. And if you don't know who Thunder is, let me give you just a quick breakdown of Thunder. She is she first appeared in the Fantastic Four, and she is a villain. She's been members of the Lady Liberators, Frightful Four, the Grapplers, Roxanne Oil, which is big because they have appeared in the MCU and the Squadron Supreme. She was a professional wrestler at one point when she was part of the Grapplers. And her powers and abilities, well, let's just run this down. She has superhuman strength, resistance to physical injury, and can go toe-to-toe with characters like the Thing. She has increased speed, stamina, agility, and reflexes. So pretty much, she's a super soldier without being really a true super soldier. She also carries a sword or a 3-foot linked chain. I'm excited. I like Rhonda. I like Captain America. Not Captain America, but I like the what we're doing with this new movie, New World Order. We got our new Captain America. But yeah, WWE has signed Colby Corino, the son of Steve Corino. He was a big name on the indies, and he will be reporting to the Performance Center at NXT soon enough. Also last night on Battle in the Valley, Mercedes Mone defeated Kairi Hojo for the IWGP Women's Championship in a fantastic match. If you saw her gear, she was paying tribute to Hana Kimura, which was always great to see. And lastly, the WWE and AEW are both very much interested in signing Kota Ibushi. Who will sign him? Where will he go? My money's kind of on AEW just because of the Kenny Omega relationship. But the WWE is also looking to sign Kenny Omega, which is weird. So we'll see what's going down. But that's the news, and we'll be right back. Well, you know, we got to get the week started off right. So how was this past week in wrestling before we lead up to the Elimination Chamber? Well, on Monday Night Raw, we had our go-home show. We opened up with Becky and Bayley doing what they do, saying, you know, they're not really done, but they need to find a way to get to WrestleMania. What are they going to do? They keep mentioning Bianca. She comes out, and Adam Pearce makes a match. Triple threat, main event, Monday Night Raw. If Becky or Bianca win, they are inserted into the chamber. If Becky or Bayley wins, they insert into the chamber, and if Bianca wins, neither one of them are inserted to the chamber. Like that, nice little match, has some stakes to it. Let's keep it pushing. Finn Balor and Damian Priest defeated the Street Profits. Edge and Beth Phoenix come out to attack them after the match, but Rhea Ripley makes the save. Remember, we were told that she wasn't there. Bobby Lashley is called out by Brock Lesnar to sign the contract. After a little scuffle, Bobby clearly is the heel here. They signed the match signed the contract for the match at Elimination Chamber. Piper Niven, the Viper, makes quick work of Mia Yim. It's about 3 minutes. I like how Piper has been presented since she's returned. Dominant. That's all I gotta say. Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes have a really, really nice in-ring segment. So before this even started, Kathy was interviewing Baron Corbin. Then they moved to the ring because something was happening. There was Sami. Cody comes out. They talk. Cody's Sammy's biggest cheerleader. Sami wants to know, does Cody really believe that he can beat Roman? And it's just a nice little segment. That's back-to-back weeks with Cody just having really good in-ring promos. So they finish with that, and they go back to the Baron Corbin interview. And he ends up talking shit on Dusty. Cody doesn't like that because they were in the gorilla position, behind the gorilla position. They fight. They have a match. Cody wins. And the downfall of Baron Corbin continues. Bring me down bad. Bum ass broke Corbin. I need it in my life. The Raw Chamber woman, that'll be Asuka. Remember that's right. Asuka, Carmella, and Nikki defeated the SmackDown Chamber woman, Liv, Natalya, and Raquel. But at the end of the day, nobody's ready for the Empress tomorrow as Asuka stands tall and lays everyone out. The Maximum Male Models won Otis. Bronson Reed absolutely murders Mustafa Ali. We had one of the better Miz TV segments with Seth Rollins. And Miz pretty much wants to know what's Seth's deal with Logan Paul. And Seth's like, listen, Miz, I may not like you, but I know you respect this business. And Seth just completely runs down Logan Paul. They end up having a little fight. Theory stands tall, laying out both of them, and then immediately Miz had to have a match against Rick Boogs. Boogs wins. Chelsea Green confronts Adam Pearce once again, and I'm loving this Karen gimmick that she's got. And in her main event, Bianca defeated Bayley and Becky Lynch. Over on Dynamite, this is a rare subpar show. This is one of the rare times that Dynamite doesn't have a great show. So we opened up with an 8-man tag match as the Acclaim teams up with Billy Gunn and Orange Cassidy to take on Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. The Acclaim, Billy Gunn, and Orange Cassidy wins. Nice little match just to get the crowd going. Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli defeated Preston Vance and Roosh. JR had a sit-down interview with Wardlow, and this was the first time we really got some true emotion, some true story behind Wardlow, and why he grows his hair out, why he grows his beard. It was a tribute to his father who had passed away from cancer. So finally we got some substance to Wardlow. Mark Briscoe defeated Josh Woods with the Froggy Bow. Yo, man, Mark Briscoe's all elite. Holla at your boy. Renee Paquette had a sit-down interview with Adam Cole, and this was kind of getting us geared up for Adam Cole. Will he fight at Revolution? What's next for him? His road to recovery, because he's almost ready. MJF entering promo, just pretty much running down Bryan Danielson. Christopher Daniels comes out and tell MJF that he's pretty much just wrong in an ass. So MJF tries to pay off Christopher Daniels. Doesn't work, so he ends up attacking him until Bryan Danielson made the save. Jungle Boy defeats Brian Cage, and that's like 3 weeks in a row Brian Cage has lost. Need these Honor Club tables to come and to start. Christian Cage made his return, standing on the stage in his sling. Jungle Boy immediately goes to attack him, and Christian sprays him with Mason and gives him an impaler on the stage. So this feud is far from over. Hangman Page defeated Kip Sabian. After that, Mox comes out with Wheeler and Claudio and tells him, like, yo, listen, dog, I won. You may not like that I won with the roller, but I won. You can't beat me. It's over. Let it go. Hangman doesn't want it to end like that. And Mox says Hangman doesn't have any friends. Out comes the Dark Order. They back up Hangman, and Evil Uno gets in Mox's face, says he ain't scared of him. And Mox looks right past Evil Uno, tells Hangman Texas death match at Revolution, and that's where we're going to get. But next week we will be getting Evil Uno versus John Moxley. And in a rare women's main event, Ruby Soho defeated Britt Baker and Toni Storm. Figure Ruby was the only one who could win. Of course, Britt Baker's in the main event, because if it's a women's main event, it's got to feature Britt Baker. But this was a solid match, and the storyline continues. So now they want to know whose side is Ruby on. Will she be with the freelancers? Will she team with Britt? Listen, nobody should team with Britt. Nobody on AEW women's roster, with the exception of like Penelope Ford, the Bunny, and Serena Deeb, should ever want to team with Britt. Period. Nyla, Tay, Anna, Shida, Riho. Why would they ever team with Britt? Why would they ever back her up? It doesn't make sense. Over on Impact, Kushida defeated Chris Bay. Santino sets up a match at, I don't even know what the next Impact pay-per-view is. Sets up a match for Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer at the next pay-per-view. Steve Macklin defeated Rhino. Barry Horowitz defeated Johnny Swinger. This didn't last too long. It was a nice little comedy match. Moose will get Joe Hendry at the pay-per-view. Heath defeated Eddie Edwards. PCO came out to attack Eddie Edwards at the match, but Eddie got away. Father James Mitchell cuts a promo with the Hex, talking about selling his soul, and the Hex aren't done. They want gold. Masha Slamovich defeated Alicia Edwards. And in the main event, Rich Swann defeated Kenny King. Kenny King attacks him after the match, and Josh Alexander comes out to make the save, and Swann accidentally kicks Josh Alexander. So you know what that means. Can they coexist? The answer is yes, they can. Over on SmackDown, we have our Elimination Chamber Go Home show. We opened up the show. We were in Montreal, so we opened up the show with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking on Shotzi Blackheart and Natalya. This Canadian crowd was completely like ripping on Ronda, but it was a solid match. It got enough time, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from Ronda and Shayna. Expect them to win the gold at WrestleMania. We had Sami Zayn and Bloodline videos throughout. Remember, we were in Montreal, Sami's hometown. And, just telling a story, building it up. Hit Row had a rap, but they were they were taken out by Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. And Bray wants either Brock or Bobby Lashley, one of them, at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus defeated the Viking Raiders. This was a fun little match. I would love to see this one more time with maybe like a hardcore stipulation. Karrion Kross taunts Rey Mysterio, and this was the first time Kross looked good. Just felt natural. He's still a trash person and a trash wrestler. Asuka defeated Liv Morgan and stands tall over all of the Chamber Women. Gunther retains the Intercontinental Championship against Madcap Moss. Moss looked pretty good here. And our main event segment, Sami Zayn comes out to his old music, and for about 5, 6, 7 minutes, couldn't get a word, and he was overcome with emotion. Crowd was going crazy for him, and he said something in French, or more specifically, he told Roman, "You're in my fucking house, and you're going down." Woo! 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 It was a beautiful segment. Over on Rampage, the Elite defeated Top Flight and AR Fox, retaining the Trios Championship. This was a fun little match. Little basketball shenanigans. I actually liked their first match more. The House of Black then showed up. They went next and finally give us this match. Wheeler Yuta wants Orange Cassidy, and they'll be battling on Rampage for the All-Atlantic Championship. Ricky Starks defeated Daniel Garcia, and Sammy Guevara didn't like that, so he wants next. Jade Cargill retained the TBS Championship against Bert Vixen, and in a main event match, not segment, Dustin Rhodes defeated Swerve Strickland by DQ after Parker Bardreau got involved, and Keith Lee returned to make the save. Oh man, this is going to be great. Our matches of the week, and we got a couple. From Raw. Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch versus Bayley. This was a fun little match. Would I have liked a different winner besides Bianca? Yes, I'm always going to be Team Bayley, but that's fine. From New Japan, the New Beginning, Hikuleo versus Jay White in a loser leaves Japan match. Also from the New Beginning, Tama Tonga versus El Phantasmo for the Never Openweight Championship. from New Japan, The New Beginning, Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. From Impact, Kushida versus Chris Bay. From New Japan, Battle in the Valley last night. Man, this was for sure the best match on the card. Kairi Sane versus Mercedes Mone for the IWGP Women's Championship. It was phenomenal. Like, I'm so upset that Kairi didn't get to have a longer match at Wrestle Kingdom, because this match was great, and we know how great Kairi is, we know how great Mercedes is. From the Elimination Chamber, the men's chamber for the United States Championship, also from the Elimination Chamber, the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship match between Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. And I think it's without question that our star of the week is none other than Sami Zayn himself. That's our weekend review, and we shall be right back. The Elimination Chamber. Now, it used to mean something. It used to be such an important match, and now it's kind of just been a plot device. So we had the Elimination Chamber premium live event that just ended, and now it's just here. So before we go over this year's event, what just happened from last night, we got to check out last year's event. And up until last night, after last night, guess what? 32, that's right, we've had 32 Elimination Chamber matches. And remember, the first one was back in 2002. So yeah, this match has been around for 20 years. That's really kind of crazy to think. And there was one in Philadelphia, that's right. The Chamber pay-per-view was the last one before the pandemic. But yeah, so last year's event took place in, let me see, Saudi Arabia, yeah. Good old blood money. And what was the card? So on the pre-show, Rey Mysterio defeated The Miz. On the main card, first match was for the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defeated Goldberg by technical submission. The second match was for the Raw Women's Championship opportunity at Wrestlemania. Bianca Belair outlasted Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki ASH, and Rhea Ripley. Match after that was a tag team match. Naomi and Ronda Rousey defeated Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. Ronda had to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back. That's great. Drew McIntyre defeated Madcap Moss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Lord. Becky Lynch defeated Lita. I actually remember that match. That was a very good match. It was the third longest match on the card. And Brock Lesnar defeated Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Matt Riddle, and Seth Rollins to win the WWE Championship match. Both chamber matches went about 15 minutes as opposed to, I think this year's chamber matches, they were actually kind of long. This year's chamber matches, let me see. The women's went 19 and a half minutes, and the men's went 30 minutes. So that's long, folks. So this year's show, there were no matches on the pre-show, and it was taking place, the Elimination Chamber Premium Live Events. That's what WWE calls it. Everybody calls it pay-per-views. Took place in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, at the Bell Center. So how was it? Well, what just happened? We opened up with the women's chamber match, with the winner getting a shot at the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. And our 6 competitors were Asuka, Carmella, Raquel Rodriguez, Nikki Cross, Natalya, and Liv Morgan. So overall, I kind of enjoyed this match. I didn't hate it. The proper winner won. And Asuka won, but let's just dive into the match. So we started off with Liv Morgan and Natalya, and this kind of fits the new kind of attitude of Liv Morgan, just taking unnecessary risk and just throwing caution in the wind to get things done. But I like what we did here. Would I've started with Liv and Natalya? No. I probably would have started with, honestly, I probably would have started with Asuka and Nikki so they can just do, or Asuka and Liv so they can do crazy stuff. Because Asuka was the last woman to come in, and that felt a little predictable having Asuka come in last. But these women did go all out to really put on a solid match. It wasn't the best. I've seen better from the women, but everybody played their part well. Liv was going crazy. Raquel was the powerhouse. I believe, was Raquel the second in the ring? Yeah, Raquel was the second in the ring. And, it's kind of like the Rumble where, everybody the next person that comes in just goes crazy, does whatever, and then we just wash, rinse, and repeat. So Raquel was doing her power thing, followed by, I believe, Nikki was next into the ring. And at this point, there's no eliminations, and Nikki's just going nuts. She's taking tires, she's throwing people against the cage, and this suits her. And I love that we're back to crazy Nikki Cross. Carmella was back. Carmella comes in, and she does a little. She does some hits there, but she's scared. She's being smart, and she goes back into her pod, but she doesn't notice. Excuse me. She doesn't notice Nikki sneaking up on her, and takes her out. Raquel pins Nikki, and that's our first elimination. And now we're getting people eliminated. And then Asuka comes in, and she just wrecks shop. But the views are there. All eyes are on Asuka. Like, we all expected Asuka to win. People start getting eliminated. Liv passes out because Asuka has her in the Asuka lock, which is the new. She now is using the Rings of Saturn or the Brutalizer, whatever you want to call it. While Natalya has her in a sharpshooter, and Liv passes out. Natalya gets taken out. We're down to Asuka and Carmella. Well, no, actually, Raquel Rodriguez gets taken out, and she gets double pin, and then Asuka takes out Carmella. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, not 1, 2, 3. Taps her out with another Asuka lock, and bada boom, bada bing. Asuka's going to WrestleMania to face Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. I'm perfectly fine with Asuka going to WrestleMania. I just don't like the match. I feel like Rhea versus Bianca and Asuka versus Charlotte are the better matches. Rhea, we've been teasing Rhea and Bianca, and yet we're gonna go with Rhea and Charlotte, and Asuka can get her win back from Charlotte at Mania. Like, that's so much better, because I don't know how can you drag out Asuka and Bianca for 6 weeks? There's no history there. I don't get it. Asuka is viewed as a heel on the roster. That's not right. Since her return, she's been cheered. She is over. She's like over, almost up to the point as over as Bianca and Becky. But this was the right choice for the winner of this match, Asuka winning, and Raquel Rodriguez looked dominant. Liv has become the Iron Woman. Liv has really shown a lot over this past year. She is doing, she's doing a lot. She was the Iron Woman here. She was the Iron Woman in the Chamber. She was the Iron Woman at the Royal Rumble, and I want to see more. And I like that she's passing out from these holds, and that this physicality, she welcomes it. But I like it. I like that Asuka wins. We are on to our next match. Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, and listen, this didn't go long. This didn't even go 5 minutes. This match ended by DQ because it was big, mighty men slapping man meat, and Bobby was just too much for Brock. He just was. And Brock went low, gave Bobby a low blow. Ref called for the bell. Lashley didn't like what happened, and he F5'd the ref. He F5'd Lashley, and he walks away. And just, I don't know, what was the point of this? What was the point if you weren't going to have a definitive winner? Because you set it up on SmackDown that Bray wants the winner of this match. Unless you do a triple threat match, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Are they going to have another match? I don't know, because it just didn't make any sense. Our third match was Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor taking on Edge and Beth Phoenix, and it was a mixed tag match, not an intergender match. So once again, the difference, ladies and gentlemen, mixed tag matches, the men have to fight the men, the women have to fight the women. Intergender match, men fight women, women fight men, doesn't matter, everybody can get these hands. Part of the reason I love Impact is the women fight the men all of the time. And if the women were allowed to fight the men in WWE, Candice LeRae would be the most over woman on the planet. But I digress. We start the match with Edge and Finn, and we've seen this before. Now, everybody looked good here because everybody is good here. Edge, Beth, Rhea, Finn, and ex-con Dom is there backing up Mommy. You know what I mean? He was always going to be a distraction. He was always going to be a problem for them. And this match went a little long, but I like that we have a definitive winner. Edge and Beth won. They used the Shatter Machine. If you don't know, Shatter Machine, aka the Big Rig, is FTR's tag team finisher. And as you know, if you don't know, FTR are really, really good friends with Edge. They live near each other in North Carolina. So it was cute. It was a nice little callback to them. They hit the Shatter Machine on Finn. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully this is over, but I feel like we might get Edge versus Finn at WrestleMania. The matches are always fun between these grouping of people, and Rhea and Beth looked really, really good here. I would love a one-on-one match with them right before WrestleMania. Just let them have a nice little horse fight and just go to work. Dominic, once again, is great here. He's really, really found himself. Everything's great. So this feud is over. And hopefully we can move on. What Edge does at WrestleMania, he's probably facing Finn Balor. Next up, the Elimination Chamber match for the United States Championship. Our competitors are our champion Austin Theory, Montez Ford, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and Seth Rollins. We start with Seth and Johnny, and this is actually the first time these two have fought each other in the WWE, and just for the short time they were in the ring together, I want this match. Let's just have this match on Raw. Like, hey, we heard y'all like this. Here's this match. Let them go 15 minutes and let them just put on a great match. I mean, it is what it is. But it was pretty much a stalemate between the two until Austin Theory was the next to enter the ring, and he was doing his thing, and he was taking control of the match, controlling Seth, controlling Johnny. And then our next person in the ring was Damian Priest. He was released in about 6 minutes and 35 seconds into the match. At this point, Seth had dropped Theory, and Johnny Gargano just beat him. They just beat his ass. They just beat his ass. And then Damian Priest comes in. He's just throwing elbows, broken arrow on Gargano. And he is a former United States champion, so he was the dark horse for the match. Actually, same thing with what's his name, Damian Priest. Bronson Reed is his former North American champion. But we're getting to the point where everybody's coming into the ring. Here's Bronson Reed, and he is just dominating. And I like how he's been pushed just as a monster, as just like this unstoppable force. Him and Piper, Nevin Reed's beating up everybody. And then Montez Ford comes in. No eliminations yet at this point. And Ford, he's a madman. He climbs the cage and just drops down on everybody. Now, that was the old John Morrison spot. So now, how are we getting people eliminated? Well, the first person to get eliminated is Bronson Reed, and they just straight up, he takes all the finishers. He takes a super kick, then he takes a triple super kick, and that barely moved him. Johnny Gargano hits the spike DDT. Seth hits him with the stomp. Montez Ford hits him with the frog splash. Finally, Bronson Reed's eliminated. So that's great. That shows that that's how you take a big guy out. That's how you get someone over. And now, finally, we're about 20 minutes into the match, and we get to This Is Awesome chant, because this match has been fucking awesome. So Gargano and Priest are going at it, but then Priest finally hits a razor's edge on Gargano. He's eliminated. Damian Priest is taunting the crowd. He eliminated their boy. You know what I mean? He's dropping wrestlers left and right. Seth pulls Priest in for a powerbomb, but Ford leaps over him and gives him a blockbuster. Tag team finisher, whatever. And Priest is eliminated. I like it. Montez is exhausted. He's down in the corner, and our final three are Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, and Montez Ford. Montez Ford looked great here. He looked awesome. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. He gets a Uranagi. He went for the frog splash, but Theory gets his knees up, and Seth hits him with a stomp. Theory pulled Ford back into the ring. 1, 2, 3. Our final two are Seth Rollins and Austin Theory. You probably could have figured that out. And it looks like Theory is going to win until Logan Paul shows up. He hits Seth with a buckshot lariat. He hits Seth with a buckshot lariat. Austin Theory hits another A-Town down on Seth Rollins. 1, 2, 3. Austin Theory retained. So we're definitely getting Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory at WrestleMania for sure. This was a really good Elimination Chamber match. This was really, 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 really good. This is definitely one of the better Chamber matches. One of the best ones I've seen in a very long time. And you're wondering about how Logan Paul got in as they were taking Montez Ford out. And that's how he got in. But we got our match. So now it's, who is Theory going to defend the United States Championship against at WrestleMania? Well, I can let you know right now. I don't know who it is, but whoever he will defend it against, you can't see them right now. And in our main event, our main event, bro. Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. It was very, very smart to have Roman Reigns come out first. Roman had to come out first because there was no way he was going to be able to overcome the pop, whatever pop Sami Zayn got. But man, oh man, and they let it marinate. Because Roman came out and they waited a couple minutes for Sami's music to hit. And Roman, it was getting to him. The crowd chanting for Sami. They were not acknowledging Roman Reigns. They just weren't. But. When Sami Zayn came out, the roof absolutely exploded. And they, listen. When it comes to the match, it was a good match. It was a solid match. It went about 32 minutes. Sami's wife and kids were there, and this is how you do storytelling. This is how you tell a great story in wrestling. They tried their hardest to make us believe that Sami had a chance. And Sami had a chance. They tried to make us believe that Sami was going to win. We knew that wasn't going to happen. The drama, the emotion. But Sami couldn't walk away the winner here, and he didn't. The Usos showing up at the end of the match. First, Jimmy, who did his job. And remember, we were told they weren't going to be there. So, Jimmy does his job. There's no Solo, which was really, really weird. And Sami keeps kicking out of everything. Roman is like, yo, I had you part of my family. And then you ruined it. He's such a gaslighter. And like Roman is so funny. When Roman gets scared, he gets scared. And you see the crack show, but then when he thinks he got the upper hand, his mood, his demeanor just completely changes. Jimmy's involvement came, and we had 2 rough bumps, and then Jay shows up right after Sami's comeback, and we were placed in the same situation that happened at SummerSlam with Jay with the chair instead of Sami behind Roman, and Roman pie faces Jay. And Jay, like, it looks like Jay's gonna hit Roman, but he hesitates, and Sami accidentally spears Jay. And now we got our next chapter in the story. But we had double ref bumps. But at the end of the day, Roman Reigns retains. But wait, there's more. KO comes out to stop the bloodline from beating up on Sami. And he and Sami share a look. KO gives Roman a stunner. He gives Jimmy a stunner. He steps out of the way and lets Sami give Roman a haluva kick. So this chapter on the story is over and done with. It's closed. So question is, what's next? Because Roman and Jay still have some issues to resolve. Remember, this story was never about Sami Zayn. This story was never, ever, 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 ever about Sami Zayn. It was always about Roman and Jay. So where do we pivot to? We have Cody Rhodes, but now we got Sami, we got KO, we got the Usos, we got Solo. There's so many directions they can go with this story, man. And it's just it's just a lot. I wasn't really feeling the shenanigans at the end, but that's okay. I'm still excited to see where we're going to go next. The Elimination Chamber has at times felt like a B-level pay-per-view. This was the first time in a long time it did not feel like that. I mean, when you got 2 chamber matches, one of them being really, really good, Brock and Bobby, the Sami Roman Reigns story, it's just a lot, and this was a good show. I'm giving it a B+. I'm giving it a thumb up. because this was a good show, and it set the stage right for WrestleMania. But let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear what you all think. But that is our show, and as always, you can check me out on the socials as usual. Charismatic Creations on Facebook, Tumblr, and YouTube. Charismatic Creations Charismatic Creations 52 on Instagram, the 215 on Twitter. Next week's show, Blood and Guts for the women? Blood and Guts for the AEW. So we're gonna look at the storyline right now, how it's going, what's next, even maybe fill out these teams. But that's our show, and as always, Shotzi, Wendy, Zaya, and Gigi, holla at your boy. Peace.